reason why yesterday we couldn't broadcast. So it's been really, really frantic. We're going to have the Oceanic qualifiers. They're going to end today, and then we'll have a 2-week break, and then have the South American qualifiers. By then, hopefully, it's going to be so much better. So just telling you that in advance. Really sorry if it's not as good as it should be, but for definite, in the after the next 2 weeks when we start the South American and North American qualifiers, it's going to be in tip-top shape and a wonderful viewing experience for you. But let's talk about Dust 2. Seems like the side's already been chosen. They won't be playing the knife round here. The terrorists are New Zealand. Australia starting off on the CT side. 3 armors, 2 nades. Very pretty standard here by the CTs. Ricky holding a pretty passive position here on the B site, and very fast push towards tunnels by the terrorists to catch off any aggressive CT, and then going underpass, going for that mid control. Nice little boost here by Australia. JKS on the top, but he'll get shot down. It is a trade for the terrorists. Seiko pushing forward. Oh, well, what was that? Was that a team kill? Cookie, dear me, killing the newcomer Zusi with a shot to the face, or shot to the back of the head actually. He's still up. Nicely done by him as he takes down Ofnu, the Exile 5 player, who's playing against 3 of his teammates. And this matchup, Nova holding mid here. Ceres tries to push towards A long. There's no CT smoke from them. They do have armor, though they're able to take down one of the CTs. Nova goes down, now they're pushing towards the A site. Seiko trying to stay alive, and he barely will with 20 health. 2 on 2. There's a good position here for New Zealand. Cookie. See one of the CTs lands a headshot, takes out Yustillo. It's all up to Ferg here, who has no armor and barely any health as well. He'll be pushing towards the A side here. Seiko and Cookie set up a crossfire, and he'll go down to Seiko. That's the first round here for New Zealand. This is a very good start for the underdog of this game. False buy from Australia now. And the scout on Yustillo. He'll be playing the op, it seems, as Destiny was playing the op for Australia last game. He was the main opper for his side. Usually Exile 5. Look at this very, very fast push here by the terrorists, and there's nobody there to hold them off. CT smoke goes down. There's shots fired there by Ferg. He's done quite a lot of damage, bearing in mind the equipment he has, and he'll get shot down finally. Oh, Australia doing a pretty good job taking down 2 of them. Cookie comes up to hold the flank, and he just saves the life of his teammate. It's back to a 3-on-3, even terms here. Even though the CTs might have the weaponry disadvantage, they're doing a good job. Takes out another one of their players, and oh god, he's going down health. Ofnu's on his own, and it's a 1v2. They're able to kill him, and they'll get the bomb defuse as well quite easily and pick up some weapons. And New Zealand losing the second round against the Australian force buy. Nicely done by Australia. There's a good retake of the A site. And I think there's a bit of a muddle after they crossed in towards the site. And the first player, I forgot who it was, who was holding the site deep with the 5-7, did a lot of damage on his own. They should have taken him out earlier. They've got a force buy coming up from New Zealand though. And they're going for a B push. They've got a pretty good setup for that. Ofnu getting the way towards underpass, and they're doing exactly what they did the first round, getting mid control from underpass. They're afraid that perhaps they have an AWP. They can't afford that by now. Maybe a scout. It's a great push there by the Australians over along, and they take out one of the terrorist players in relative ease. Ricky holding mid and B from a pretty passive and deep position. Sarah step back towards A long. And they've left one person on short, and it will be an A split here. Fed trying to hold his position. The bomb is going towards the A side now. After they've seen it, the CTs are aware of that, and they're unable to get a great flash there. Ferg still alive and still a thorn in New Zealand's backside. Nova comes in to support there, coming in from A long. They'll finally get taken down. And there's a double kill there from Yustillo. Australia picking up a second round there. New Zealand looking a bit clueless after taking mid control and losing a player at long. Perhaps trying to trick Australia. They've lost a player at long, and then usually when that happens, you go straight into the opposite side because you know that one of the CTs is really, really high up. But instead they rotated from mid and went all the way towards A long. Now it's a really fast push towards the A side. JKS is in a great position, flashes the whole team, throws down a Molotov to protect them, gets the first frag, second frag there. He's got support from Ricky as well. And this is a very, very good B side defense. And it wasn't fast enough from New Zealand, and it was a really, really great pop flash from JKS to slow down that attack. New Zealand though, they've got a bit of money under their belt and it's a full buy from them. This time the bomb staying in tunnels. They've gone for the underpass push. Look at this, one of the CT is really, really far up here on his own. He'll get shot down, a bit of a mistake, no support from his teammates. Would have been better off with two, just so they can get the return frag. Now Ferg again, holding long, and he did a really good job the round before. Ferg, whose residence is Perth in Australia. In-game leader for the Exile 5. Playing against his teammates, showing no mercy. Here, it doesn't matter what team you're in, it's all about your nation, patriotism. Switching, checking shot. Push here from the terrace. They're unable to make the trades. Only one frag here for Cookie, the newcomer for CSGO. On 2CS franchise in general. And in a 1v3, there's not much he can really do. We saw the first round taken by New Zealand, and we thought perhaps there's hope for New Zealand to pick up the momentum and get ahead. And the thing is, they're not playing on a harder side. I mean, Dust 2 has always been classically been a T-sided map. In the top level, Tier 1 CSGO, it's become more of a CT-sided map. It's been like that for the past year or so. But with these mixed teams, you can definitely give the advantage towards the other side. Alfanu does a good job protecting the Frank, takes down Ricky. And that's a free weapon for them as well here. Eco round. Oh, goodness me, you're still on with the double kills. I mean, if I got a penny for every double kill he got in the last 2 games, I'd be a penny. Nova finishes their job. 5-1 here, New Zealand losing that eco round, but they did pick up 2 frags at least. Full buy from them, and they need to start picking up rounds on the scoreboard. Can't stay like this for long. Double up setup here from New Zealand. Ballsy play. And Zusi going for that early pick. He's got the spawn for it. Wonder if he's going to be able to land the shot. Seacar pushing towards underpass, and he will see one CT, and he will take him out. Ferg lands a headshot, but it's not enough with the M4. Zusi just misses one of the CTs, who's tucks away behind the smoke. We've got the one-man advantage, and they will be pushing towards the A site here from short. There's one player waiting for them, and another to support. That's a great Molotov. Completely stops that plan in its tracks. Will it be a B push, though, from CT? Nova throws down the Molotov. Gets control of that position. Gets a lot of information. JKS through the smoke, tries to spray through, but he'll get shot down. Yustillo's on his own on the side, and he has to play it big. Only one frag as he gets taken down by the terrorist, and this is good T-side play here from New Zealand, making the trades, getting the map control, and getting control of the sites as well, as the bomb will be planted here by Cookie. 3v2. Australia now on the retake. Too aggressive there by Nova. He actually picks up a frag, but gets shot down almost immediately by Cookie, and that's another round here for New Zealand to make it 5-2. We might have a game on our hands. Australia, though, still have quite a bit of money in the bank, so they're able to go for a full buy. Yustillo's not playing with the op, as we will see Ricky instead. Ricky, the Melbourneian, if you want to call that, because it comes from Melbourne. So that's a word I just made up. plays for Team Immunity and is their resident AWP player. So it's not a surprise that he's playing with the AWP right now. He used to play for Streamline. He's definitely a player that they have to worry about. Oh, sorry, he used to play for Trident, actually. Not Streamline. Excuse me. JKS this time hold that position from mid on. Oh, goodness me, Nova with a beautiful double kill. They tried to go for the plant far too early, and he makes it 3 as he takes down Offnoon. That's the A-side push completely shut down. New Zealand getting completely crushed here by the Australians. That's such a great triple kill. Really, really nicely done by him. And they should have checked that corner before going for the bomb plant almost immediately. Perhaps the communication's not tip-top at the moment for New Zealand, and definitely could have been around day one. They could have won. And they at least made a trade. I mean, okay, lose one player, but it's a 2-on-1 situation, and he's got the back to the wall. Very aggressive here from Australia. Oh, you're still nicely done. And Offnu returns with 2 with that Tech 9, though. And actually make it 3. Finally get shot down by Ferg. A bit dangerous. That aggressive push from the CTs. Really, really punished by Offnu. Even though you still was able to pick up those 3 frags, but I think they lost far too many players. And we saw this with Australia in the last best of 3, especially on Mirage, where they were getting when they got the momentum, when they started to get ahead, they got a bit too aggressive, a bit too complacent, and that just gave away too many rounds for New Zealand, even though they weren't able to come back into the game. It's a bit risky. Seiko. Don't know what Ferg was doing, trying to walk through that smoke. Probably didn't expect anybody to be peeking. Great shot there by Rickett. Justillo coming into support from short. Nobody's checking that spot, and he'll be able to get an easy double kill again. Justillo making short work of the New Zealand players. See, it goes on his own in a 1v3. There's not much he can really do. Australia keeping the momentum going to their side. Money's not looking too great now for New Zealand. We're 10 rounds into the game. Only 5 rounds left, and it's 5 rounds New Zealand have to get. With a full eco like this, it's going to be relatively difficult for them as well. Last time they tried to do this, they were completely crushed by JKS with an excellent flash, and they completely crushed again. Throws a wonderful Molotov. And gets a beautiful double kill with his M4 as well. Right now, New Zealand have to provide something different. They have to bring something new to the table. And Dust 2 is one of those maps that teams have played so much over the years. It's just everybody's played. Everyone loves Dust 2. Dust 2 is everybody's favorite map. And it's a map that can really have really surprising results. I mean, we've seen many, many surprising results on Dust 2, both in the European Championships with the European teams, and also with the top tier teams as well. You can see a lot of upsets on Dust 2, and that's perhaps why New Zealand picked this map. There's an exchange of frags, and New Zealand come out the top. Cookie, great push there from shot. He takes down Ricky, and this might be around here for New Zealand, as there's only 1 player remaining for Australia. JKS. I'll take Cookie, however, and make it a 1v2. And we've seen New Zealand buckle in these clutch situations. They have to just play their cards right. Bombs being planted, Molotovs in the site. It's just a moment too late. Oh, leg shot. He barely survives that encounter with JKS's AWP. JKS decides to just try and save the AWP. There's not much time left. Oh, no. He's just little cheeky peek. Backs away, runs back. Sees if the terrorists are chasing him, which is what the terrorists were doing. He misses his shot. It could have been pretty disastrous for New Zealand players had he landed that, but it was a pretty smart idea from him. Either way, he's unable to save the AWP and unable to win the round as well. New Zealand now with
with 3 rounds only on the board. We've only got 2 rounds left here in the first half before they'll be switched over towards the CT side. Saw a relatively good CT side there from New Zealand on Mirage a couple of hours ago, sorry. And they've pretty much got the same lineup. Only difference is Zusi instead of Young. He's not been doing too bad. On the other hand, Australia's lineup is completely different. It's been 3 players changed. Moving short. He'll make short work of Blackout. Great position to stop the Ceylon push, and he takes down one player. He's got support from Nova. Finally a frag for New Zealand, but it's just far too late. It's Cookie, newcomer to CS. Pick up one frag before his team lose that round. That's the thing with these nation-based tournaments, although they're not many. There's only the European Championships and the World Championships, but you get to see the emergence of new talent, and you get to see how players who don't get a lot of play time on the big stage perform against the top players, and also how the team chemistry is for every nation. Some nations play better together than others, and some nations put a lot more time and effort in practicing than other nations. So full eco here by New Zealand. They're able to pick up an AWP from Ricky, which Ofnu has right now, but he's on his own against the world. Finished off pushing forward. 11-3, last round now of the first half. New Zealand will have to use all their money. Sunday market buy, jumbo sale, whatever you'd like to call it. They're able to afford a scout, a couple of AKs and Galils. And I think this map has probably gone towards Australia's advantage. What a shot by Ricky on Blackout. Again, they tried to go for that aggressive long push, and it's not worked out for them really. They've been stopped by the New Zealand players every single time. I mean, there's always a terrorist check-in long, always. Maybe even more than one. Seiko gets a frag through the smoke on Ferg. This opens it up a bit for the New Zealand side. It's 3-on-3 though. The advantage is for the terrorists in this situation. Seiko, the player for Dire Wolves, favourite map Inferno. Used to play for Avant and the old Trident. I've not seen much of him though in this game or the game before. New Zealand are going to try to come through from mid, but JKS is there to stop them. He gets the first frag. There's not a lot of health on the final player. As soon as he goes down, JKS charges forward, aggressive and confident, and picks up the final round for the first half. That makes it 12-3. Australia making short work of the New Zealand players on the CT side of Dust 2. A map where you'd expect to get more rounds on the T side, especially in this kind of mixed matchup where we have players from different teams playing together at the same time. Either way, New Zealand still have a chance in the second half. They might play a really solid CT side, and then they have the second map as well after that. So you can't really discount them. But the advantage is, at the moment, for Australia, who won the first game. They're probably going to win the first map. And they're only a few steps away from qualifying to the LAN finals. Wow, Blackout, great shot by him. And it might be another great CT pistol round from New Zealand. They did a good job landing those headshots with USPs. They've definitely had their fair share of pistol deathmatch. Look at this, we're going to have a boost here from the CTs. Cookie jumps over. Catches him out, and there will be a defuse. Australia able to plant the bomb though. They'll have a bit of money. They should save this round, buy on the third, have a full buy on the third round. This gives New Zealand a bit of room to breathe. If they lost the pistol round, it's probably GG on this map. I don't think we can expect anything else. New Zealand players are going to play the CT side there. Got two at mid, go for aggressive early push. And then one of them goes to support the B site, just in case there's one for a fast B. And he's actually really, really aggressive. The guy in B tunnel's getting that information. I've got the information from mid. They should know that it's an A push here, especially after that CT smoke. But the A side's completely undefended. The CT's going far too aggressive in other parts of the map and just making the wrong choice. And now they're going to have to play for the retake. So force buy here by Australia, which is quite interesting. Bear in mind, they did get the bomb planted. So they're just wanting to end this as fast as possible. Taking the risks, and the risk is really paying off right now. There's only one CT remaining here. Ofnu on his own against 3 players. He gets 2 quick frags, makes it a 1v2, a bit more manageable, but he doesn't have a lot of health on him, and Ricky finishes him off. A pretty bad round there by New Zealand. They tried to do something fancy, and it didn't work out for them, and that's the thing. A team that doesn't have the experience of playing with each other, the calls are a bit late, and when they went aggressive B tunnels and went aggressive mid, they should have known it's an A push. It's really, it's obvious, but when you don't practice together so much, the communication is difficult. Got a 3-man stack at A long, which is the right choice for them here. Great flash as well by the CTs. Go for the peak. They make the first frag, and they're unable to capitalize on that, however. Zusi, in the smoke, gets passed by one of the Ts, who doesn't notice him, and he'll get an easy frag on Ricky. But it's him against the world right now. USB only. 3 players. And they'll pick up the round. 14-4 now. Australia only 2 rounds away from picking up the first map of the second best of 3 between the two teams. And showing us who the real boss of the Oceanic region is. The thing is, with Australia, the players have had so much more experience. If you take a look at all the players that are playing for New Zealand right now, they're all source players. They're all players who haven't been playing since 2005, 2004, that have joined the CS scene a relatively short time ago, at around 2008, 2009. So they don't have the same experience, the same tournament experience as the Australian players. And they do have Spect on the lineup. He isn't playing today, but he's a 1.6 veteran. Lucy's been playing since 2010. And Zusi, he'll get a frag. It's all or nothing. Look at this. Ferg in a great position to stop this push towards the B site. Great flank by Ferg. And that really takes away the steam from that retake of the B site. Ustilo takes down Zusi. Cookie finally stops that flank, and it's a 2v2. It's all on the line right now. Not a lot of time left before the bomb explodes. Great flash, but he flashes his teammates at the same time. Seiko gets the frag, and Ustilo clutches the round in a 1v2. 15-4, Australia now only 1 round away from taking the first map. After a very, very confident performance here, we assumed that New Zealand perhaps might have something more to offer on the CT side, but you know, everybody knows Dust too. It's relatively T-sided, even at the highest levels, and this kind of mixed team level, it's definitely more T-sided. And that again depends on the lineups involved, and you can't really call, for example, Team France, which is, let's say, 3 NVS players and 2 Titan players, a mixed team. It isn't really. It isn't really. All of these players have played with each other in different lineups. I mean, every single French player has played with another French player. And for the final round of this this map, sorry, New Zealand don't really have much to offer. They've been forced to just buy pistols and armor. They didn't have money after losing the round before, and they've done a good job to pick up 2 frags so far. Cookie, great shot by him as well on Nova. 2v2. Say 2v1 as JKS takes down 1 CT. It's a really interesting situation, and the CTs are like moving in from positions where the Ts should be moving in. Bomb gets planted at the B site. JKS still hasn't finished off the last player, and he finally will. 16-4. Not a good score.